Hey friends, and welcome to today's video. Yes, it is mid-January, but we are already thinking ahead to Valentine's Day. I even put on my cute Valentine's Day top for this video because we're going to be talking about all things crafts, Valentine's themed DIYs, but also things that you could gift this Valentine's Day season. As always, I'm going to have references and tutorials and all those links in the description below, so check that out for more information. But other than that, let's get straight into today's video. Also, check out my other socials because I'm going to be doing a lot of these crafts throughout the end of January and beginning of February, and I'm going to be posting all about them there. I just love Valentine's Day and I love, so I want to fit in as many crafts as possible. Let's get to chatting about them. I came up with 25 different ideas. These range from decor. These could be really fun, like Valentine's Day, Valentine's themed craft night ideas with your girlfriends. This could also make for really cute Valentine's Day gifts for a loved one, a friend, a family member, or a partner. So let's get started. I'm starting with the idea that I'm most excited for. I'm so excited for this that I'm doing this craft later today. So I will insert my video, my photo of how mine turns out. But this is a little museum of us shadow box frame, and I've seen a couple of these I think on TikTok, so I'll link some of the inspo that I saw, but this is just the cutest idea ever. I've done things with these little like mini dollhouse antique frames, but making a little museum themed frame is just the cutest idea ever. If you're like me and you're a sucker for things that are miniature, I feel like this one will like really get you too. Basically, you just get little dollhouse frames and you choose out photos of you and your loved one. It kind of makes like a mock museum, and you can get little figurines like benches and people and lights, and I don't know, there's this whole world of like miniatures, figurines, dollhouses that I didn't really know about. If you're super crafty, you can make these miniatures yourself, because I will say I did my shopping for it and it does add up. But Michael's, I think Daiso used to, but I went to Daiso and I couldn't find any mini figurine stuff. I'm sure it would be cheaper there. And then I also got some stuff from Amazon, but a lot of the Amazon finds are more bulk, so you have to pay more and then get more. But if you're only making one frame, it's not super helpful. I will link some of the supplies that I purchased below, and also of course link my tutorial how mine turned out. I'm so excited for this one, and there's also so many ways you can do it. There are so many different kinds of shadow boxes, like longer, shorter, different sizes, wider ones. So I've even seen some that aren't even really a shadow box frame, but they're more of like an actual box, and you can see the entire like sides and walls, and it's more of a museum-esque look. There are so many, so many. That's why this is at the top of my list, and I just yapped for 2 minutes about it. Next, I said a crocheted bouquet or a crocheted bouquet keychain. Crocheted flowers are so underrated. They're really pretty, and I've seen some, I don't want to say realistic ones, but I feel like you can really vary from, I guess, more realistic looking to more like cutesy looking. I feel like the ones of lilies look pretty real, and they look really cool because they use wire, I think, to do the shaping. But I've made, I don't know if I made it a keychain, but I made a mini bouquet. You could turn this into many things also. It could be a magnet, it could be a keychain, it could just be a little like thing you have in your room, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it would make for a really cute gift. And I think you can crochet flowers like relatively quickly from my experience. And there are so many tutorials online, linked below. I also said a crochet jellcat. I love jellcats. I feel like they're such an ultimate like cutesy gift. I think they're perfect for Valentine's Day, and one step better is making it yourself. Like, how fun is that? I've seen a lot of tutorials on YouTube, so I'll link some that I like. Personally, I made a, I don't think it was a jellcat themed video, but it kind of looked like a jellcat to me. So I made a little crochet bunny, and I made a big version, and then I've also made a keychain version. There's also so many different ones. I personally really like the cherry one, and I think that would be such a cute Valentine's Day gift. I've also seen like the little cake, or the ones that are doubles, like the matching marshmallows. So cute. You could also go classic and just make a little jellcat inspired heart crochet stuffy. Next, I said a Polaroid or photo strip frame. I don't know if you can see it well, but I actually have one up here. I actually have a lot of different like photo frames. I feel like I've been seeing so many of these. It's like genuinely my favorite kind of art. I feel like this would be such a great gift too, because it's a memory, it's decor, and you can personalize it by choosing the fabric or the background or whatever you want to make it more custom to the person you're giving it to, or just for your decor. This one up here, I used 3 matching photo strips from a photo booth in SF that Alex and I went to, and then these ones over here, I used a little card from one of those vending machines from a trip we went to Boston, and then I also have a Polaroid, but I used different fabric scraps for the background of all of these, and I love the way that it looks when you play with fabric for the background. I feel like it really elevates your photos and adds some like texture to it. I like personally, I'm scared I'm gonna overdo it with the photo strips, but I have been so obsessed with them and I love how they look as decor. Next, we're getting into garland territory. I feel like different garlands and kind of that more eclectic, crafty, like I'm a kid again crafting decor has really come in this past year, and I think Valentine's Day is the perfect time to keep up with that. Personally, there are 2 kinds of garlands that stood out to me. One I saw was like using doilies and folding them to look like little envelopes, but then they look really cute because they're like kind of lacy envelope, turning that into like a string garland. The other one that I saw that I really liked is kind of a twist on a paper ring garland, but stapling it instead of like a loop, you can staple it and fold it in a way that it looks like hearts, which is such a nice little touch. Of course, you can use fabric or paper that is pink or red or Valentine's Day themed, but I think this would look so adorable draped around your door frames, draped from the ceiling, draped anywhere to add a little bit of pink and love to your space. I did this one before and I think this is a really, really good gift for especially guys, because you know, not all guys want real flowers, but I think all guys want candy. So I made Alex a flower strip candy bouquet before. I think I'm actually gonna do it again this year because it was such a hit. I also ate a lot of candy while I was making it, but it was really fun. But you basically just get some sour strips, red or pink, and then green, and then you can fold it in a way that they look like little roses. I thought this was really cute. I thought it's such a fun twist on a bouquet. You're gonna see from my list, I have a lot of fun twists on bouquets. So diving into that right now. 3 types of bouquets that I really love. Bouquets are such an easy thing to kind of customize the person. So say they love flowers, but they also have some hobbies, why not add those hobbies to the bouquet and make the bouquet itself the gift? 3 specific ones that I've seen and I really love are very catered to my hobbies, but obviously you can switch this out for honestly anything. But I said book bouquet, makeup bouquets, or a yarn bouquet, obviously. This is pretty self-explanatory, but any of those items, anything, you can just buy for the person, but instead of having to like wrap it, you can just add it to the bouquet, put it on a little stick, and like wrap it in the flowers. I think this is such a cute way to present your gift, and honestly, these are all stunning. I think they're so fun. A very quick sewing or crochet project could be making like seasonal Valentine's Day coasters. I saw some really cute heart ruffle crochet coasters, and I've also seen some sewn ruffle coasters, and I think these are so fun. You use coasters so frequently that it's so nice to have that as your kind of seasonal decor. I feel like coasters are also nice for decor because they can work up pretty quickly. So if you only have a couple of hours to add a little touch of love and Valentine's Day to your space, might as well be through a coaster. Of course, I had to just put Valentine's Day grams in here. I feel like this really brings back your inner child in the best way possible, and I think these were so fun to make. If you are a card person, like I love just making cards. It's such a fun and lighthearted craft, and there's so many ways to go about it. I've seen so many cute ones with just hearts and doilies or paint. I feel like the options are endless because really it's just making a Valentine's Day theme card, but you know, write a cute little Valentine's note or pun or stick a piece of candy, and I feel like this is such a cute way to, I don't know, make a bunch of these for your friends or your coworkers or your family and just spread the love. I also said a crochet or Valentine's Day themed bookmark. You can obviously use this year round, but this would also work up super quickly, so I feel like it would be a great gift for someone. This would make me so happy to see this on the page of my book as my bookmark. It's so cute. Next, I said a big heart scrunchie. Oh my gosh, I'm a sucker for a big chunky scrunchie. Is this not the most Valentine's Day accessory you've ever seen? I also just like love Valentine's Day themed things because obviously you could wear it year round, but during the entire month of February, you might as well amp it up a little with accessories. This one isn't really a DIY. I guess it's more like personalizable, but I had to throw it in there. I'm a sucker for all things lockets. And I just think there's so many ways to go about lockets. I feel like they're an amazing gift because you can choose photos. There's so many custom ones that you can engrave something more personal on it. You can also just choose the type of accessory. So it does not have to be like a heart or like a super girly looking locket. You know, you could get your boyfriend, like I've seen kind of like booklet looking ones, and just choose a cute photo. There's keychains, there's necklaces. I've even seen rings, which is so cool. Back to the bouquets, but not just any bouquet. We're talking about mini bouquets now. One I would say are fridge magnet bouquets, and I've seen a couple different ways you could do this. You could either get them like a mini vase fridge magnet and get them like fresh flowers that they can put in the little vase themselves, or you could get them a dried flower bouquet magnet. I have one of these on my fridge and it just makes me so happy to look at. Like, I think the special thing about these little mini or dried flower magnets is like, oh, you can have flowers around you all the time, which is so fun. You could also hand make them the little vase magnet. I've made one out of air dry clay and it's really easy. It doesn't hold water though. It just has like a little hole. So I put like a dried flower in it and it stays on my fridge year round. But if you don't want to do a fridge magnet, you could also do like a little car flower. I think some of them are air fresheners, but some of them are just decals. And these are so cute. This is also a fun way to have flowers, mini flowers around you all the time. And I've seen some really cute ones like on Etsy, but you could also make this yourself. Next, I said a custom deck of cards. I feel like this would also be a cute gift idea for like a guy, maybe, I don't know, or anyone, to be honest. I've seen a lot of variety of this. Like some people draw or paint their own art on the cards, which is so thoughtful, but you could also just customize a deck of cards with like photos or something like that. I've also seen some where people turn them more into like booklets and like write things on it and use it more as like just paper, I guess. Or there's just a lot of things you can do with cards. You could even put some kind of art on the cards and then turn it into a framed picture or something of that sort. I also said you could customize matchboxes and either use the matchboxes or turn them into a matchbox frame. Along with being obsessed with photo strips for decor and wall art, I'm also obsessed with seeing them as keychains. I feel like this is such a fun way to bring it with you everywhere. Two options for this. I've seen little pop-ups. I think there's one like in SF and LA. I'm sure you can do it online too on like Etsy, but you can get a photo taken and then turn it into like a little keychain of one of the photo boxes. And I've seen people add really cute charms and things like that to it. You could also make your own by printing it on shrinky dink paper, and then you'll have like a miniature photo strip, and I think that's also super adorable. For like a guy, maybe you could also go a little bit more subtle. I've seen like these nice leather case photo holders where it's like maybe your photo's not out there all the time if you don't want to be as showy, but you can still open it and know that your photo is with them everywhere. And I think these are also just really classy, and honestly the photo probably stays like in better condition. I also saw some really cute embroidery inspo, whether it's initials, hearts, maybe a special date to you. I feel like you could embroider that on any kind of gift, add a nice personal touch, whether it's visible or not. For example, for Alex, I embroidered matching hoodies for us before. I think this was one of our like early dating gifts, and I did it kind of on, I think it was like the inner sleeve and then hood somewhere. I don't know. Mine were kind of subtle, but you could also make it like completely not visible. Like you could just give them, you know, a nice piece of clothing and embroider it on the tag or on the inside so like only they know it's there, or you could put it out there anywhere for them to see. This is kind of specific, but I feel like it's also been kind of popular recently, or maybe I've just been seeing it on Pinterest and saving it a lot recently, but specifically red embroidery on white things. And it like doesn't really matter what the white thing is. Like it could literally be paper for a card, the cover of a journal, tablecloth, clothing item, dish rag, like literally anything. I feel like the red on white is such a nice pop, especially for Valentine's Day, and it's also so classy. Doing some kind of red on white embroidery, but specifically cross stitch, so pretty. I'm trying to think where I'm gonna do this because I need to do it soon. I need to do it before Valentine's Day. Another fun one, I remember growing up doing stuff like this for my parents when I was a kid, but I think this is so fun to do Honestly, for your partner, for a friend, you could still do it for your parents 100%, but making some kind of either date or like gift coupons, whether it's like, I'll take you out to a movie, I'll take you to brunch, what else have I seen? Go on a road trip, like those kinds of things. And then I feel like it's kind of more of a experience that you can share together. I've seen really cute ways to decorate it, whether it's like making a whole coupon book or making like individual ticket looking cards. It's really nice too if you kind of need the other person to be involved in planning with you. For example, for Christmas, Alex did this for me and gave me 2 different ones. One of them is a ticket for us to see Avatar 3 in 4D, but he didn't know like what date I wanted to do it or time, so he just gave me like a coupon and then we planned it together, which was so much fun. And he also gave me another one where I get to pick what concert we go to, and obviously instead of just choosing a concert he thought I would like, he said like I can choose whichever one, which also makes it really fun and exciting. Kind of makes the gift last longer too. Next, I said sewing a little Polaroid frame. This could be a lot of different things too. Like you could make it a little like car hanging frame. You could make it once again like a fridge magnet, or it could just like be a frame in itself, to be honest. I think this would be a really fun Valentines or like group crafting idea, because you can make a bunch of these and make them all really cute and personalizable. But basically you just take a bunch of felt, you can use beads, you can use more felt, you can use ribbons, you can use anything you want, or just like embroider and kind of decorate it yourself. And it has a little slip in the top so you can change out the photo or the Polaroid picture that you put in there, which is super fun. I also said a custom kind of scrapbook frame. So if you want to be a little more adventurous than these like simple minimal photo frames, I think a scrapbooky one is really fun. I really like the ones where people put like notes in it or doodles or like tickets or receipts or kind of more sentimental things. Maybe it's from like your first date or a trip you took together and you kind of like collected those little junk journal items and put them together in like a little memory frame. It's so cute. If you're into music, you could make either a CD, a record, or just a playlist. And with a playlist, you could do like a cool kind of QR code thing like they do with Spotify. But I'm a sucker for the custom records that have a custom cover and the record itself is designed. I think that's so special. I've also seen kind of like mixtape CDs, which I think is really cool. And then that one you can also kind of like hand scrapbook or customize the cover and just put it in the CD case. And my last, I guess this one's not really a DIY, it's more of a gift idea that's personalizable, but I'm sure you could figure out how to make this yourself as well, is a car photo, specifically the ones that go on like your, I don't even know what's called, you know, the little flap thing in your car. It has like a little clip, and I've seen like Polaroid ones where you like write something like love you, drive safe, whatever, just so that whenever they're driving they can see your picture and it reminds them in their car. And I thought this was just a really sweet, not only piece of decor, but a nice way to have photos around you everywhere, like even in your car and always there when you're driving. Anyways, I just yapped so much, but hopefully this video helps you guys. If you are already in your Valentine's Day crafting or gift making, be sure to comment below what you're in the process of making, or if you're planning on making any of these ideas, or if you have other ideas of your own, please share them in the comments. I'm sure it'll help me or somebody else who is watching this video and looking for ideas. If you want to see how any of my versions of some of these crafts turn out, make sure to check out my other socials. I've been having a lot of fun doing these kind of like list ideas, and I hope that they're helpful and inspiring to you guys. So let me know in the comments also if you like this style of video. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and happy very early Valentine's Day. Bye guys.